It is our perception as little naughty head kids from the 707. Hello, my name is Tosh Jackson, and you're listening to the Break It Down Show.
And now, the Break It Down Show with John and Pete.
With us tonight on the Break It Down Show, coming to you live. Pre-recorded, actually. Coming to you live from Sacramento, California. From the abode of my cousin and our guest engineer, Daryl Carbolito. Guest engineered several episodes.
That's right.
From Mindseed Soundstage with Dwayne Wiggins and Tara Kemp. Actually, several others. Dave Agent.
Yeah.
Corey Jacobs. We're here surrounding Daryl's kitchen table from which we greased on 100 chicken wings between the five of us.
Yeah, it was 100.
That's right. Actually, man, we have with us tonight somebody who is practically a duck-billed platypus.
That's true.
Tosh Jackson is one of two African-American program directors in the United States.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the other guy is up to, but you have the very unique occupation of being the program director at 101.9 The Wolf, as well as Hot 103.5 here in Sacramento, but they are two wildly different genres.
Yes, sir.
101.9 The Wolf being a country station.
Oh.
Wolfpack.
That's right. And Hot 103.5 being a modern hits station. What's the classification called?
Contemporary Hits Radio, CHR. So we basically play everything from, dance to hip-hop and R&B.
Okay. The thing that brings you on our show, though, because, man, I've been chasing you around for a minute.
For a long time.
How are you going to let me chase you around like that?
That's a long-ass minute.
That is a long-ass minute. But I'm very fortunate in that my friendship with Tosh goes way, 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 way back before we even had jobs.
Exactly. When I was
Wait,
skinny.
you got a job?
When we were, he said when I was skinny.
And had a curl.
Oh, yeah.
And had a curl.
Actually, you also had a curl. We just saw the picture. I did.
You know what? He's actually talking to everybody at this table. Anyway, moving forward, what we're going to talk about.
My dad had a white guy curl. It wasn't. There's no activator, but he had the full. Perm.
He had a Mike Brady.
He had the Mike Brady.
Yeah.
The tight Mike Brady.
Oh, he had the tight Mike Brady. He had the greatest American hero.
Yeah. Wait a second. You mean the Leo Sayer?
He had the Leo Sayer.
No. Too long. He had what his Panamanian friend called was a real haircut. And so he's like had that just a small kind of curl to it, but not long in the back, and a mustache. He had the Mike Hagedis. There you go. Yes, Mike Hagedis.
But, man, you do have a very interesting job, man. I have to admit that when I look at your Facebook posts, you are probably with the most diverse artist roster.
Yes,
because
sir.
you span the gamut.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've seen you in pictures with, you name it, every country star.
Yes.
Pop artists.
Yes.
It's quite remarkable if you look at it at face value that a guy could do that job across two stations that are, some would say, diametrically opposed. But it's really not true, is it?
No, because I believe country fans and hip-hop fans are one and the same.
Really?
Because they're both fanatical.
Okay.
They both support their format. They know their stars. So if you're not country, they know if you're not country or not.
Yeah, right.
Same with hip hop acts.
They have the secret handshakes.
Yeah, and all
they
that
have
good
the
stuff.
Easter eggs. If you speak the language, you speak the language. If you don't, you don't.
But you know what? With both formats, if you don't speak the language and you say you don't, they welcome you with open arms.
They want to inculcate you. Is that true in country as well?
You know, I love country music.
Yeah.
I love the format. I just wish all formats were like that because the country genre really has it going on.
Wow.
Think about it. We were just Kenny Chesney at the Spread the Love tour here at Levi Stadium.
Sure.
And for Kenny Chesney, he's definitely what we would call an A+ artist, iconic.
Sure, yeah.
And for him to sit there and take time with country radio and meet with people and hang out and invite people down, and which was another format like Drake doesn't want to do any more radio and didn't want to talk to people because he says he has enough fans. He doesn't need to anymore. Country artists as a whole rolls out the carpet for its fans first and foremost, and radio.
Well, you were just saying last night that, one thing you're impressed with about Kenny Chesney is his work ethic.
Yeah, he works his tail off, and I just wish more artists would do that.
Wow. It's surprising to hear, not surprising to hear that about country artists, because I think if you look at country as a whole, it is the genre that's filled with the artists that have the down-home charm.
Yes.
And now I see the similarity, because that's why hip-hop is so colloquial as well.
Yes.
Because every artist that is out there hustling their community, it has to start from your community, and your
Correct.
community has to embrace you. You have to be embraceable.
Correct.
And then once you move out from there, you always call back.
Oh, yeah, you are definitely correct. And because of that, that's why you see country stars having careers in their 50s. The
Wow.
longevity factor
That's
is
right.
it's beyond. You got King George is probably in his mid-60s.
Yeah,
Garth Brooks,
sure.
when he sells out, he doesn't sell out a show, he sells out 7.
Yeah.
He had a record 13 this year for his world tour in Chicago.
He sold
13
out.
shows in 1 hour.
And if Garth Brooks is playing Chicago, he's not playing the House of Blues. He's playing like Soldier Field.
Right.
Yeah, when he was out here in Sacramento, he sold out Arco, which is 20,000 seats. He sold out 4 shows in 2 days.
Wow.
And
And
he
that's
did
only because he didn't
back-to-back
want to be in
shows in
Sacramento
one
this
day.
long.
Back-to-back shows. The last time I heard that kind of turnout was Prince.
That's correct.
No.
Yes, sir.
That's when you hear about guys doing back-to-back shows, too. I mean, there's a certain kind of work ethic that is necessary if you're going to play like that. It means you value your crowds.
That's
it
right.
means you really have something for your audience, and you recognize how delicate your audience is.
Well, let me also step in, and with Garth Brooks, it was one ticket price for the front row, the same as the top.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
So I think it was...
Get there early.
I think it was...
Yeah,
no,
that's
well,
right.
it was 40... 40,
Dollars.
47.
I have not seen
Is
those
this,
prices.
is it
since the
1992?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cheap.
Yeah, so the idea is you have to figure out if you want 8, 6, 4, 2. And then that's how he did it.
Wow.
And then because of scalping, you had to show it with the credit card
That you used to purchase the tickets.
and have to be at the front door.
So
He's
really what
incredible.
he's doing there is being protective of his audience.
Yeah,
it
he-
seems like a pain in the ass that you have to go through that, but really what he's doing is protecting his crowd
Correct.
from fraudulent behavior
Yep.
and the ticket
Right.
scalping and all of that stuff that goes on.
And here's the crazy part. He didn't even have any tour buses. All of his dates are fly dates.
Come on.
Wow.
Huh.
How do you get away with that? I mean, he's got all these I could see how the artist flies, but how does the gear
Yeah.
how does the gear
Well, I
travel?
mean, the gear,
He's got
think
two
about
sets of
it,
gear probably leapfrogging.
It leapfrogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none
if
of
you're
it-
staying in Chicago, if you got that, like, we had a Scott Pelkey on the show. He does a lot of this kind of work, and he talked about it's great when they're staying in one location because they actually get some time to sleep and eat and everything else. And if you're doing 13-day stretches, I mean, that's damn near a residency, at the
yes,
United
sir.
Center.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and the great thing about him, he just pulled up in a Ford Bronco or something
Right.
like that. No limo, no nothing.
Got out.
Him and
Somebody
Trisha.
handed him a guitar.
Yeah, I mean, Garth is a marketing genius
Yeah.
because when you bought the tickets,
His college education is in marketing.
yeah, well, so you could buy the album, you get his full discography and tickets to the show.
Wow.
And remember, his stuff wasn't available
One-stop shop.
on iTunes,
On
so
iTunes, yeah.
he has Ghost Tunes.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The man.
Yeah. And all this time he's done it on his own terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he wanted to dip for a while,
He did that.
He did.
He did. He wanted his girls to grow up
and then when he came back swinging.
swinging.
Man. Can you equate that work ethic, that charm, that combination, the magic combination of Garth Brooks to a hip-hop artist? Who's got it?
I'd say pop first. Can I go
Okay.
there first?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could see that.
She has an ironclad memory. People
Uh-huh.
don't know that
Hmm.
about her. She took the Garth Brooks playbook and took it to another level.
Yeah.
See, Tosh is saying she be having grudges.
Oh, I see. Don't you burn Taylor Swift?
No, well, think about it. Taylor Swift, her fans love her. Whatever your feelings, but we're just talking on the business side.
Yeah.
She takes time for country radio.
Yeah.
When she was up here at Levi Stadium again,
Yeah.
she sold 100,000 seats.
Yeah.
And she also takes pictures with Tosh.
Yeah, she takes pictures with me. No, but the great thing about it
One
is
of the two of you had a shirt on.
But what I'm saying,
Moving on.
but about her, she took time to meet country radio. Then she met 300 fans.
Right.
Then at the end of her shows, what she does is then she has her people go around that are having a good time, and then she does a after the show hang with like 50 of her biggest fans, and they're handpicked by her people. Country radio, when you see and hear these stories, it makes you understand why I love country music. I just wish we would do that on the hip hop side of things.
So you went from if you went from country to pop, is there a hip hop artist who does it quite the same way?
No,
Wow.
that's about it.
Wow.
But hip hop artists do different things, though. I mean, they
Yes.
cross market like crazy. I used to be a Captain Morgan model in Las Vegas, and they couldn't give Ciroc away. Couldn't give it away.
Correct.
And Diddy comes in, and now it's a giant brand that makes billions of dollars.
Correct.
So they're putting their names on things, they're licensing things, and they're making money in different ways, which still draws fans to them. And a lot of them get out of the music game. I mean, LL's not going to drop an album unless he chooses to for fun.
He's a television star.
That's
Right. He's making more money doing that.
That's right.
And he may put an album out, but
Ice-T as well.
Yeah, they're recording artists as a hobby now. Ice Cube as well. He may put a song out there. And they also cross-promote to each other and do the featuring thing, so they get across things. So there's a lot of activity.
Do they do as much of that in country music that we just don't see? Where an artist
If they do from boots to different beers, hotels.
Yeah, no, I mean in terms
the
of
actual
when
song
you
itself.
see a hip hop album that's got 22 tracks that are really 14 songs and some skits, but those 14 songs will have 12 featuring other artists.
Very rare.
It's very rare in country.
It's rare, but it's it depends on if they're with the same writing group.
Sure.
Publishing, how sometimes a label may still do certain
Yeah.
things, and they call them events
Yeah.
type deal, but it's not as much as it is on the other side.
But if you're coming up in the rap game, whatever, you're going to see if Too Short will come and feature on your album because he's going to bring part of his audience with him.
Of course, yes, of course.
So they approach it in a different way. I don't know how approachable they are, but in general, as far as what I can consume on the mass media side, it seems like they work hard to cross-promote for a lot of different things.
Yeah, they do, and then the other thing too, we have to also I have to let people know that with hip hop, it's international. Country's not international. Country's just now getting into the international scene. So a lot of their bread and butter is
Right here.
Stateside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it a little easier to tour.
Yeah, that's true. there are country stars in other places, but they're kind of silly. Like when we look at a German country guy, you're like, I'm not taking you serious.
Well, but Australia has a big country market.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban, yeah. Real big.
It works for them, but it doesn't work in like France.
Well, but Canada is another big. They have multi-platinum artists from Canada. There's a group called High Valley that comes from somewhere up in the hills, and they're more like a bluegrassy thing. Sold millions, and we've never heard of them.
Wow.
And they just signed a deal. I think it was with Warner.
Whatever happened to Western music?
I don't know.
I mean, because it
before
used
my
to be,
time.
but it used to
I
be
wasn't listening to
country
it like
and Western, and it's like country, and that's it.
You're asking the black guy.
Oh wait, I'm the white guy.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah, come on.
I was not listening to this. I was listening to Shalimar and Run DMC.
Yeah.
When I was coming up.
Going back to what
Get in that mic for me, Daryl.
Going back to what you guys were talking about, John, about how your question to Tosh was regarding rap versus country. It's amazing that there's been so many collaborations just in the last, I don't know what, 5-10 years.
Yes. Yeah. You had the first one was Nelly and
Right.
Tim
And Tim
McGraw
McGraw,
with
yeah.
Over and Over.
Right.
Nelly has
Which
done-
was pretty good for a
Which-
first
yeah.
attempt at that. It was pretty good.
So I don't know how many. I have to go and look at the numbers, but it sold millions, I think,
Yeah.
of records.
And then there was Snoop and Willie Nelson.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
And I probably skipped over 20.
Yeah.
But
but in the genre, even with the Sam Hunt guy, it has broken those barriers down because he's rhyming. There's a whole undertow country rap that's out there that people don't really know about.
What's the recent one with Jason Aldean and Ludacris?
That was which was written by Colt Ford. Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's some
Wow.
crossover.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's some.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, T-Pain.
Yeah,
Well, see, there we go. There's some cross-pollinating.
of course.
And so now your roles at a pop station and a country station simultaneously make a little more sense.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think
Yeah.
Tosh is behind all of it.
But I mean, but how does a black dude find his way to the top of a country station? I mean,
You know-
what's the path?
Because we now are celebrating the fact that you have these two jobs simultaneously. You're
Yes.
doing it in two different stations,
Yes.
two different genres,
Right.
in a market that's a good-sized market.
Yeah.
Now, you were first the program director at a country station.
I was. Yeah,
You were there first.
I was. Yeah, but I was DJing on Hot first, and then got the programming gig on
the Wolf.
country.
Actually, he was DJing on Union Avenue in Fairfield first.
Oh, let me tell you. You know, the thing is, I go back to this every once in a while. We threw this party at my mom and dad's house. This party was legendary.
Oh yeah.
This party was legendary. I had been out of high school for a year or two. My brother was still in high school. And one of the things that we wanted to do, my mom and dad went to Australia. And we wanted to throw a just banging party. And I wanted to do it for my brother as I don't know, it wasn't yet graduation time, but I just, he just was having a great high school career and just needed that party to punctuate his year.
It was his quinceañera.
It was right. Yes, it's my brother's kids. So we did. That's exactly what it was. So we threw this party where all the dudes were suited. We had valet parking.
Yes, we sure did.
We had full bar.
Oh my God.
Bouncers.
Yes, we sure did.
You know what? If you were a dude and you walked up to the door, you didn't get let in because you were wearing denim. It was like, nah, man, you got to go home and put on some wool. You got to suit up if you want to come in here with these fine ladies. And that party was banging. Dude, no kidding. We had valet parking, and the first thing we did was we went around to all the neighbors and told them what we were doing.
what we were doing,
We said,
yeah.
my folks are in Australia. We're throwing a big-ass party. We're not going to let it get out of hand. And if it does, all we want you to do is knock on the door, and we will calm right down. And every one of them said, cool. Thankfully, our neighbor behind us, Monty, deaf as the day is long. He couldn't hear shit. Our neighbor right next door, Joe, and his wife, Mindy, their bedroom was on the complete other side of the house, and they were cool. They didn't care. Our neighbor across the street, Fairly, she was sort of the neighborhood mom, so she said, okay, I'm going to let you know if you get out of hand, but just know that you're good. Okay. So we threw this party, and the DJ was Tosh Jackson. And Tosh rocked a damn house from stem to stern, from the tip to the toe of that party.
Yes, sir.
That house remained rocked.
Yes, sir.
This was the time where he was wearing that terry cloth jumpsuit
Yes. It was burgundy.
and the Kangol.
It was burgundy.
Oh, and the
I
Kangol.
want you to know it was burgundy. There
You
may
go all the way
have
to
been,
Oakland to buy his Kangol. You get it right. Wow.
there may have been accent striping.
Yeah.
Accent striping might have been mustard.
Wow.
I remember. Oh,
Burgundy and
well, I think- I
mustard.
think
Were
I-
you getting
Burgundy and
drafted into the
mustard.
NFL the next day?
He was
Damn.
he was wearing a velour sweatsuit, the colors of which were named after a wine and a condiment.
Yeah.
We can say Tosh rocked the house and was delicious.
When you're rocking the house, I know you've got a record, and you're like, I'm just going to hold this back and wait till the time is right.
Of course. Of
And then
course you have your record.
Here it
Jeff.
comes. And what? So what?
Now
was
let's set the table though.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 1991,
So,
maybe 1990.
You got
I think in 90.
Yeah. What might that record have been?
I mean, you're not jumping off a Two Live
God.
Crew to get the party started. You're
But the
gonna
thing
work up
is,
to
you
that.
had 5 of those in your
Yeah.
pocket where you would let the party wind down.
Yeah, but we're also Funketeers hanging out with Daryl,
Yes,
so
yes.
you had Confunction and all that other stuff.
Oh, man.
So we had the hybrid of playing the R&B stuff,
Yep.
Shalimars to DMC to whatever was hot at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of Janet.
Yeah, Janet was
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
No kids.
No kids.
No kids.
No responsibility.
That was a party.
Yes, it was.
There was a child conceived at that party, I want you to know. Not mine.
This time.
Yeah.
This time. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So, do you have a song that sticks out? Is it Going Back to Cali? What is it?
Oh, back then, I think it was really.
Think of how many songs have run through Tosh's repertoire.
There's
though,
a
as
lot of records. There's
Yeah.
a ton. But I just remember Janet was really, really
strong.
strong on that. And then Rodney and Joe Cooley.
Rodney
because
and Joe Cooley.
Which were really big for us because those were street records
That's
to
right.
us.
We were hip hop heads.
Yeah, we were heads too.
Yeah.
So it could be almost a host of things.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to understand though. When you went to Tosh's crib,
Yeah.
back then. Notice I used crib. That's a dated term.
Yes.
He had crates of records
Yeah.
lining the walls.
His room was made out of crates of records.
Right.
Yeah, back in the day.
And you had siblings. How many siblings you got?
Oh, well, 4.
Okay, now on top of
Or
4
three,
siblings,
3. Sorry.
his mother was quite gregarious and had foster children.
On top of it.
And they were not just, stop-in foster children. Like, they were welcomed in. They were in
Yeah,
the family. They were in the house.
Yes,
So
sir.
there was at any given time somewhere between...
God, 8, 9 people in the
There
house.
always.
Always. The house was always busy. There was no, I
Now-
want to get away from somebody.
Also on top of that,
There's
you
more.
had us running through the house. I could walk in your house at any moment.
That's right.
Your mom never had a locked door policy.
Nope.
The door was always open. And
Yes,
then the
sir.
funny thing was I would come over there some days to talk to Tosh. Hey, is Tosh here? No, he's not here. Well, I don't care. I'm going to walk in. Hey, what's up, Neoshi?
Yeah.
And we'd end up doing something else with somebody else in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
That house was, man.
And my house is like that still today.
And a musical cacophony
Yes.
spilling out of that house at any time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Centered around music.
So you really were sort of born and bred for it.
Yeah, I think God definitely put his hands on all of us because we were all met through music.
Yeah.
We're all drummers at one point.
Yep. Yep.
It's interesting you say that because although John and I are related, I don't think we would have known of each other hadn't it been for music. I mean,
Wow,
in all
that's
honesty.
crazy.
In all honesty,
Well, it's crazy to say that because, music is all we knew. We were just little nutty head kids going to Blue Devils B, going to Concord, making that long trip up to 680 and having a good time and just living life and being what guys do, we weren't in a lot of trouble. I mean, we got in some trouble, but it's like it was all centered around just music and having a good time and practicing. I mean, we practiced and practice
Yeah. And we practicing.
and practicing.
And to touch on Daryl's point, the thing about Daryl was that I actually met you, Tosh, before I met Daryl.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's partially true. I mean, Daryl and I crossed paths. We come from an enormous family.
enormous.
And at some point, we actually, I did meet you first because Daryl and I met on Labor Day weekend, 1984.
Oh, wow.
I know exactly when it happened because we had a family reunion, and our family reunion was in San Diego, and there were probably 700 people there. And
That was just inside the building.
And Daryl's band played, and that thing was spilling out the building. So Daryl's band played, and they rocked the house, and that's when we met. But then we didn't see each other, and then we became adults. And Daryl joined the Air Force, and I graduated from high school. And then our paths crossed again because my dad was looking for a mixer to buy
Yep.
for his band, and Daryl had one. So then my dad hit me up, hey, man. Also, I had a truck.
Yep.
So he hit me up.
That
He said, hey,
Ford
man, I
truck.
need to borrow your truck because I'm going to go buy this mixer from Daryl. And I was like, you buying a mixer? Who's Daryl? He's like, dude, your cousin. I didn't know I had a cousin Daryl with a mixer. You remember Daryl from the family reunion? Oh, the bass player? Yeah, he lives in Fairfield. So I came up, we got to mix her. Now, Daryl and I are, I don't know, third, fourth, fifth cousins, who knows?
Right.
Our relationship is somewhat distant if you look at it on paper. But just first cousins, I have 77 first cousins.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I have 77 first cousins. God knows how many second, third, however
You're
many
right.
cousins. And my cousin with the closest relationship that I have is Daryl. And I couldn't really tell you precisely how we're related. We come from the same family tree, but right off the top of my head, if somebody said, name it right now.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know your dad is my Uncle Jesse, but your dad's actually my mom's Uncle Jesse. I don't really know.
It's confusing because it's weird because his Uncle Frank, which is his mom's brother, is my uncle godfather.
Oh, wow.
See,
So
it gets all
anyway,
twisted.
It is.
The bottom line is Daryl and I could fuck if we wanted to.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Yet.
Not yet. We haven't. But if we wanted to, we could.
I bet if he had that curl back and that mustache that he loves so much.
That did make me ask myself some questions.
Yeah. On a serious tip, though, Tosh, I actually met you through John. You were doing a gig down at this place in Sassoon, old place. Was it not Dimitri's? Was it? Dimitri's didn't.
No,
exist
no,
before.
didn't
It was another
exist.
place.
I mean,
It was on the corner. He says, "Hey, we're gonna go check Tosh out. He's this DJ friend of mine." And I walk into this club with you. Actually, I followed you, and the first thing that hits me is this. It's like there was women dancing. I mean, there was some strippers there,
And some funk.
and you were DJing this gig. It was in Sassoon.
God, that was a while ago.
Man.
I've done a lot of jobs since
So
then.
so that's when I first met you.
Thank
And I
God.
want to say that was about 87.
It had to have been.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah. Yeah, just getting out of high school.
Yeah. And
See, man, we go deep
your-
on this show, man.
Yeah.
That's where our relationship started. Because I didn't live too far from you.
Yeah, that's true. That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
And I had to
Yeah.
re-meet Tosh through Daryl. That's what Tosh. That's how Tosh likes me.
No. No, I don't want to hear that crap.
If you like the show,
And you know you do.
send us some pictures of your movies.
Don't do that. Support the show.
There are 3 ways you can support us.
Number 1, go to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And leave a 5-star rating and review.
It helps with the show metrics and it helps us get better placement. Number 2,
Visit our website.
www.breakitdownshow.com.
We've got an Amazon and an eBay link.
Same Amazon, same eBay, you know and love, but they give us a little kickback when you get to their site from ours. And number 3, leave comments about the shows that you like. We want to know what you think, how you feel.
Tell us how to make the show better. We greatly appreciate it.
Now back to the show.
We like boobies.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
man,
Had
but-
we had so much fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you're right, it was absolutely centered around music. We
Yeah.
just want to make music all the time.
You know, I remember, because I was broker than 2 rocks on the fence, and you were getting lessons from David Garibaldi, and you would share those lessons with me.
God help you. And it's too bad you got them through my filter, 'cause they were probably real good lessons.
Yeah, because you gave me the books. I remember those back in the day. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. We sure did.
Hey, real quick, just to interject, man, I want to take the opportunity because I know people have been saying it over and over again, but this is opportunity to congratulate Pete and John for doing over 100 episodes.
Wow.
Yes, congratulations.
fellas.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
100 shows is nothing to laugh at. That's hard work and dedication and great programming.
Thank you, man. Coming from an executive in the business. One of 2 African-American executives at your level in this business, by the way.
Yeah.
See how I just
On-
turned it
on
back
country
around
radio.
on you?
Yeah,
I got to
country
turn it
radio.
back around on you because
Yeah.
that is a tremendous compliment. And what it comes down to is that we've been fortunate enough to have people who do something interesting in their lives
Yes, sir.
who've been willing to say, you guys look all right. We'll talk
For
to
me, it's more about food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you are.
Chicken.
we brought you a chicken.
We got chicken.
I mean, I hate to stereotype, but we did eat some chicken.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're brown, too.
That's right. That's right.
I like fried chicken.
Well,
Brought to
you're
you by
from the South,
Wingstop.
right?
No, I'm from the Bay.
Not
well,
not a
okay.
sponsor.
Not even the South
Might as
Bay.
well be.
Yeah, might
South
as well
Bay,
be.
South Bay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Said not a sponsor. Need to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Wingstop.
Get
Yeah,
on board.
Get
we
on
need some
board.
wings.
Because I'll tell you what, man, we've mowed through some wings. I say this about 10 shows ago. We had John
Yeah.
Sally
Okay.
on, and what we did, so Jay Moore was listening to our show, and we got Angelo Moore from Fishbone
Okay.
on our show, and he, I guess, had wanted Angelo to do his show for a long time.
Okay.
And so Pete said, "Don't worry, man. I'll get you Angelo." And so he got Angelo to do Jay's show. And Jay said, "You can have anybody you want in my Rolodex. Who do you want?" And then we said, "Well, who do you think?" "Yeah, we'd like to." "Sure, man. Who could we get?" And then he just started flipping through his thing and going, "Here, you should get this person, and you should get this person, and I'll talk to this person and see if they do it." And one of the people was John Sally. And I love John Sally.
Okay.
Simultaneously, I was assigned a new doctor. And my doctor at the time went into a specialty. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
So I got assigned a new doctor. And she just coincidentally happened to be hot. Smoking hot.
Smoking hot doctors are always a problem.
And so I get to the thing, and I'm like, "Oh, you're my new doe. Hello."
Hello.
And she says, "Yeah, I've been studying your charts because I'm your new doctor." And,
Can we take my pants off? No.
please, please, can I? She said, "Step up on this scale," and I was like, "No, thank you. I'm just gonna stay right down here." And she said, "But seriously, I've been looking at these numbers, and your cholesterol and such are going in the wrong direction." And she said, "Literally, if we don't do something quickly, our next conversation is going to involve what pills you're going to have to take to manage this cholesterol issue." So I thought, well, now's a good time to see what I can do about my diet. And I had just listened to a show, the Rich Roll podcast, which is terrific, everybody, with John Sally.
Okay.
And John Sally, who I'd heard before, he's been on Jay's show. He's been on everybody's show.
Shows, yeah.
And he's wonderful to listen to, but he's a vegan advocate. So he was talking about all the things that you fix with veganism. So I went ahead and took the challenge, self-imposed, 30
Okay.
days, strict veganism.
Okay.
And
There's no cheese.
no animal product.
No
Only plants.
Oh, you went hardcore.
not even honey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
He
hardcore.
didn't even lick his hands anymore.
Oh, my God.
And that 30-day period was what I did to challenge myself. And I called John Sally and said, "John, we would like for you to do this podcast. And here's what I'm doing. I'm strict vegan for 30 days, and I'd like to talk to you about it when I'm done." And he said, "Well, I'd like you not to be done, but we'll talk about it after 30 days. And he came on the show.
Okay.
In 30 days, I just want you to know, my cholesterol went from, what was it, Pete? 259
It was
to
high, yeah.
162.
Ooh, wow.
All of my numbers, the bad cholesterol, the
Yeah.
triglycerides, all of that business, body slammed all of them. So the whole thing that we did with chicken wings, and Wingstop as a sponsor, when I binge, I will gladly binge at Wingstop.
Oh, there it is.
If that's, yeah.
So have you changed totally to the vegan lifestyle?
I would say that I am 100% vegan 90% of the time. But I just came back from camping, and we had, staff and stuff camping, and I did it.
Certain things make it harder to stick to it, and we're not such diehards. Because I try to do the same. I try to make a vegetable choice when possible.
Oh, that's awesome, because I know that's the way to go. I need to do it.
It has gotten to the point where, like Pete and I will get together for lunch, and we'll have a bunch of, vegetable stuff. And he knows, that I'm trying to do it, and I know that he's trying to do it. So we try not to tempt each other too often.
No,
But
that's
we go
awesome.
big.
Yeah.
I have another partner of mine out of Davis, California. Has been a strict vegan for years, and he goes, "Oh, come on, let's do some food." And I'm making this chicken type dish or whatever else. It's all vegan.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you make it taste like chicken? I don't know how they do it.
We had spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff tastes great. There's all kinds of options, and it also frees you up from the normal things you would normally have. So, like one day we made sweet potato burgers, And
awesome.
you can just totally change that, and you can put different flavors in there. So there's plenty of benefits taste wise. Even if you want the meat flavor, you can get something else that's going to be just as good.
But a lot of the things that we do, we're like, let's not go for the fake meat.
Yeah.
Let's make a burger out of sweet potatoes and know that it's sweet potatoes.
Right.
And then see what we can do with it. And, we savor it up with some teriyaki sauce or some soy sauce or something. And we do things to it to make it taste like a great sweet potato that you would put in between two pieces of bread.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Can I ask a question about music?
Yeah.
I know, man. We
went all-
digress.
So John and I were having a conversation today, and every now and then things strike me. And when they do, unfortunately, John has to answer for the things that strike me.
Okay.
So I call him up, and I'm like, hey,
It's a burden.
is there ever going to be a Diamond album again? Adele. I learned this because we looked it up together. But Adele had the last 10 million plus album to sell, and before that, like in 2004, a few in 2002. But to get 10 million albums out the door, to get 1 million albums out the door.
They
is
just
damn
changed
awesome.
regulations and what because now they're adding streaming albums as sales too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to look online, but they've changed it. It's possible, but I know the industry as a whole is going to just doing EPs.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to EPs now.
Our appetite has changed. Our
No.
consumer appetite has changed, and it's condensed.
No, I think it's the generation that doesn't want to own anything because you have a generation of kids that don't want to be owners of
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
They just want to stream it on YouTube. They don't want to own it. I just want to use it when I want it, and then when I'm done with it, I don't think about it. Because back in our day,
Yeah.
we wanted
We wanted
collect that
collection.
record. Yeah, I wanted to get that CD. I want to read the liner notes, and I
Yeah.
want to have that. I remember Daryl had this Earth, Wind, and Fire box set. That was the lick.
Dude, remember when he got that?
Yeah.
Hey,
I remember that.
interestingly enough, John was one that got that for my birthday.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
But those were big. and
We
these
looked
kids-
forward to that, though.
Yeah, kids
We
don't
looked
look forward to that
so
anymore.
much.
So you
And-
had this wall of records in your house, but all this insanity with young people in your house. But I imagine there were some rules that you had on who could touch what in that room.
Yeah, but
Oh, hell yeah.
people went through
That's what I'm
it.
saying.
Sleeve it.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
Don't get your mitts
Hey,
all over the
Let me
vinyl.
tell
Or,
you,
yeah.
you do not fuck with Daryl's shit.
Oh no. I would rather slap my mama than mess with Daryl's shit.
But do you remember when we were collecting vinyl, though, and you would see the special things like Isaac Hayes' Black Moses that folded out?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
shit that had, the Doobie Brothers on with the rolling papers and
Yeah.
just things like that were kitschy because we were in a collection mentality.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
And you're right, kids they want, what can I grab and store on my iPod or my iPhone?
For now. Because they don't even want it because, there's evolving playlists. Why do I need to have it?
Right. Yes, I
you-
want access. I don't want ownership. I just
want access
unlimited
when
access.
I need it, And
Yeah.
it's just I think, it's the generation that we live in.
And do they want access to the 14 of the same songs from the same artist?
Well, because it's just like how do I say this? They're not not collectors, but they would rather pay $10 to a subscription service via Apple Music, Amazon, or whatever, and just stream what I want to stream, and that's about it.
What about the attention span, though, that allowed us to consume an entire album and really go on that ride that went from, I know that the best song is number 3 on side A, but I'm going to consume this entire album. I remember it was remarkable. I read David Lee Roth had the Big Country album, and the only song he ever listened to on it was side 1, track 1, In a Big Country. He didn't listen to the rest of the album. And to me, when I read that, I thought, that's rich guy shit.
Yeah.
He's going to buy that whole album and listen to one song and not listen to the entire album?
Like, why would you get up and walk back over to the record player and take the needle off the
let it
record?
go.
Yeah.
Who consumes whole albums anymore? Anybody?
No, that's older people.
When was the last time any of you listened to a whole album? Anybody? Anybody just put his...
I did. I was listening to Q's Juke Joint the other day.
Okay.
And we were talking
Oh,
about it in
man.
the car, and
Yeah.
it's something about, plugging. Right now, it's plugging your computer in and just going from song to song and vegging out. It's a treat because you know what? It makes people stand still. Kids don't stand still anymore.
This is why I love Tosh, and this is why Tosh going to love me. Because that Brian McKnight version of Moody's Mood for Love
Yes.
on Q's Juke Joint, who knows about that?
Us.
Just me and you.
Yes. Yes.
That thing was tight.
Yes. Again, and it puts you in the mood because, album producers would not only, cut 30 or so tracks for a record, but then
Right.
you have to figure out which ones you love, and then how do you put it
And how do you sequence them?
exactly
So that it makes a cohesive body of work.
exactly. Now these kids is just whatever it's just whatever happens. Like in the music industry, if you don't make it past single 1 or 2, they don't even cut an album anymore.
How about Heavy D and Brandy's version of Rock With You on that album?
Yeah.
That was also
Yes,
tight.
it was also
Ooh,
tight.
Hev, man.
And Tamia,
Oh, Tamia. Now
Mrs.
that,
Grant.
Man.
that right there. Wow.
We just went deep.
Number
You didn't
five,
say the
yeah.
dude. You said juke joint.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now that we're not consuming albums, though, what do you think that does to the artistry that you don't have to cut 30 demos and then, go into the real studio where you're going to go rent out the record plant for a week?
I still think artists still want to be artists. I think artists are still artists. I think that the true ones will continue to pump out the products that,
It means something.
the music to their fans.
Yeah.
There's a business side, obviously, but I believe true artists will always get content to fans. Like, are you hip to Chance the Rapper at all?
Yeah, we had Tim House on the show, who's Chance the Rapper's manager, I
Yeah, I
believe.
think that sounds right.
And my kid is a huge Chance fan.
I didn't know who he is, but do you know, I don't know who is funding him, but he gives all of his music out for free.
Wow.
His whole
Yeah.
thing is, I'm going to only make money touring and merch.
But he comes out here and he sells out a place the size of the Fox Theater in Oakland or the Paramount.
Oh, he knew 5,000. I think he's doing something in San Francisco, and it's like over 10,000.
And it's a big thing
himself
to have that
an opening
shirt.
act.
Yeah.
Himself.
And he's good.
Oh, he's
from
amazing.
Chicago.
From Chicago.
And his reach is everywhere.
That's right. He has struck a nerve with his core fans, and his core fan base hold him up.
Yeah, my son is among them.
Yeah, it's huge. So there are people that will sell. I think he could be one. The last album that sold 1 million without any features was J. Cole's last project.
Huh. No features.
No features. He did it by
Wow.
himself. 1 million.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
It can happen. It's just
It just has to be strong enough.
strong enough, but the artists have to put the artists have to put in the work. They
Yeah.
can't just be rushing to put records out just to
Right.
kind of turn it over like a mill. I think true artistry takes time to develop.
But if you're putting out one song, how do you have time to tell your story? I mean, you how do you pull an emotion?
Well, the first song or whatever you do, I believe it's just there for. It's a setup, you
Right.
get people in, and then once you get them in, the true fan will find them.
Mm-hmm.
Will find what you're looking for, and find out about that artist. I don't care what what genre of music you like, but once you connect with an artist, and you get one, then one goes into two, and then so on and so forth. If that makes any sense,
That makes
That makes a lot of sense.
it's just it's a relationship you're trying to build.
Right.
If you're trying to build it honestly, now girls are, oh, he's cute, he's sexy, da 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 da,
Yeah.
because that's we live in a visual world. But
Brothers Johnson would never get a record deal today.
no, seriously,
Right. It'd be hard.
Evelyn Champagne King,
Never.
never.
Okay.
Sherelle, never.
Right. Stephanie Mills.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great to say it's awesome. Awesome
He said
records.
Sherelle.
But Sherelle, hey, but in our day, that was her and Alexander O'Neill. Alexander O'Neill ran the 80s.
Yes, he did.
He did.
He ran the
Alexander
80s.
O'Neill couldn't get a deal today. If he
Yeah,
wanted one.
yeah, he can't keep it straight when you see him. If you can catch him
Yeah.
sober, it's pretty awesome. A great show.
Yeah.
If he's sober.
Right.
Yeah. That is true.
Wow.
It wasn't too long ago that Tosh had invited me to one of his outings at the Marysville Amphitheater, and the opener was a new artist named Eric Church,
Yes.
and the main act was Toby Keith.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not by tradition a country fan per se, but steadily becoming because of certain artists. And I'm thinking I'm going to the show, observing what Tosh is doing as far as what his function is. What part does he play in the grand scheme of things there? Next thing you know, he's coming over to the seats where I'm sitting with some of my other folks who were lucky enough to have received free
To partake.
in the
bounty
yes.
that Tosh provided.
Yeah.
So he says, "Hey, Daryl, why don't you come with me for a second?" Okay, sure. I'm thinking we're gonna go check. Yeah, I love backstage stuff. We all love the whole behind the scenes.
They got a mashed potato bar back here.
Yeah, right, right. All you can eat. Next thing you know, John, we're on Toby Keith's tour bus having a tequila shot with him.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Yeah, man.
you know, the only reason why I know of you is because of that stuff you did with Wayman Tisdale.
Yeah.
That makes me cry every time I see him sing that song.
Yeah.
And
love
he
that song.
loves Wayman
Yeah.
Tisdale.
And that's why it makes me cry. Because I know who Wayman Tisdale is, and I appreciate he's a giant man who could play the hell out of the bass. And he had a great little baby left hook.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Toby Keith loved that guy.
He loved that man.
And I'm going to tell you, Toby Keith, he a big boy, too.
Yeah. He could stand next to Wayman and look comparable in size for sure. Yeah. And Wayman was a giant. Yeah.
Toby is cool as a fan, though. He is cool as a fan.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why
He's been so lovable for so long.
That, and it's just that, this experience, like we were telling him, I mean, that was genuine.
Yeah.
It was real.
Genuine, straight up.
Right.
Straight up.
Plus, his
Thank
bus
you,
was
Toby Keith.
better than looked better than my house.
Yeah.
Multi-million
He travels
dollar buses.
in some style.
Yeah, a lot of style.
So, one of the speaking of relatives, one of the more recent recipients of Tosh's generosity is our niece, Ashley.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Ashley.
I
Yeah,
thought
what
for a
up,
second
Ashley?
you were saying our niece like that's an act. Like our niece. Like, I thought it was a person. That's how white I am.
You're welcome, our niece.
Oh, man. Our niece. Yeah.
So Ashley
Remember,
now,
they were twins, our niece and Arnell.
well, Ashley now knows that when you go to a major sporting event, you can't bring a big purse.
Oh, was that story about Ashley?
Well, we got her passes to see Sam Hunt.
Right.
So, she didn't know. Maybe I should have told her, but, it was kind of the element of surprise.
Right.
And she gets held up at security.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she didn't get to...
No. So I took the picture for her.
Wow. This is what you missed with your big purse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies, we love that you're prepared and all that, but come on.
Yeah.
You don't need that big
I don't
purse.
need my Speedo in your bag everywhere
Yeah.
you go, and that corn on the cob. Although I will eat that corn on the cob on the way in,
Yes.
so you can give that to me. But all those
Yes.
other things, just leave them in the car.
Yes.
So when country acts go out, they work hard. I mean, Willie
they
Nelson
work real hard,
will die
yes.
on the road, but that's his life. That's how he wants to design it. Someone like Luke Bryan, he'll be here 3 times in a year at the Pavilion in Concord.
Yep.
When does that guy slow down and actually enjoy some of the money he spent? I mean, he's still building a fan base.
Matter of fact, we were at his house for Super Bowl.
You were at Luke Bryan's house for Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Wow.
His garage was like 3 or 4 times my entire house.
Right.
What was in there?
He invited us out to this place, and I want to say North Nashville, and it took about 80 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this big Super Bowl party. They had like 1, 2, 3, 4 food trucks came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a party.
Yeah, it was a party. And then he had a whole cigar bar and cognac room for us. So if you want whatever.
In his garage?
In the garage.
God
yeah.
damn. That
His
is a big
garage, his garage is like a house.
He's
bro.
got a Costco for a garage.
Bro, for real, it's huge.
Wow.
Ice sculptures, and he's a big game hunter, and it was some of the biggest elk and lions I've ever seen on the wall. It was
Wow.
unreal. To say his house, they told us when they pulled the buses, okay, you can't take any pictures of his house. His house looked like an arena, but Southern style. It was big.
Yeah.
Big ass house.
Yeah, well, he has
and
a
then the
cognac
guest
room in his
house
garage. Oh,
was
Jesus.
a big ass house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had all this property. It was just unreal
Yeah.
of how much. But that's country music. He invited people to come and kick it
Yeah.
at his spot.
Yeah.
brought in food trucks.
Yeah.
That is an improvement over the old days where there's a lot more access to these guys. And they get that they've got to be more interactive to create those relationships you're talking about. But you can literally tweet out to your favorite person. And they may or may not respond, but when they do that one time, you've hooked them forever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. You are correct.
Yeah.
You know, the great thing about what I do, the cool thing is because most people don't think a black guy has tickets to stuff, and I love going to concerts and grabbing a few pairs of great tickets that I'll have in my back pocket and just have random conversations with folks.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised of how many people you meet. And if they talk to you and have a conversation where you say, oh, yeah, we're going here on the lawn. I'm like, here, why don't we trade tickets? Let me see yours. And I give them my tickets, and it blows their mind.
That's fun.
You sure you really
That is
want
some-
to?
You know what? That is some Tosh shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is exactly what Tosh would do.
Yeah,
Now, when-
it's kind of cool.
When you go to
That's
Jason
nice.
Aldean's concert, do you have a cowboy hat?
No, I don't.
You
I
don't- you don't
rock
go
it.
all
No,
the time.
you know that's the cool thing about country. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're not
Nobody
a cowboy, you're
expects
not
you
a
to
cowboy.
be something you're not.
No, exactly. The same with hip hop. Just
But
be
there's
who you
plenty
are.
of people that do wear a hat
Oh
that
yeah,
aren't cowboys at
you
all.
know what's funny is
Yeah,
when you
that's
see
right.
people that drive the Porsche.
Yeah.
You know,
And they get out of a
and
Porsche with a
and-
cowboy hat?
No, they park the Porsche and then get into their truck that they bought to look cool. And I'm like, you can tell the posers. Like,
Yeah.
even I can tell who the cowboy posers are.
Yeah.
You know, but there people do that. They'll sit there and get cowboyed up. Girls will get the little Miss Me jeans with the diamond studs on their butt.
Yeah.
Like it's the thing to do.
It's all good. It's their version of Comic-Con. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
But everybody does it though, right? Like if you're going to go to an AC/DC concert, you know everybody's going to
Oh
wear.
yeah.
Fringe.
Hey,
and-
okay,
Horns.
so let me count. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
If you give me, so we have a show October 2nd.
Okay.
I want you to do this podcast, another podcast. I'll set you up a room, and I want you to do your podcast at one of my shows.
Totally.
We're there.
Down. Easy.
That would be.
We'll do it anytime you want.
Yeah,
We'll do it every time you want.
Yeah, exactly. I literally mean it. Yeah, anytime you
yeah,
want. Do it.
and then we'll have some fun.
Yeah.
October 2nd.
October 2nd, put it on your
2nd.
calendar. It's already done.
Damn.
Oh,
So we're gonna make them do another one. It's all right.
yeah, we'll do
You're still our guest engineer. You come do it
Wow, where
anytime
you going in October, man?
Man, I'm still in the military, man.
Oh man,
I got reserve weekend.
You got a flight.
You
Turkey.
already know that's your reserve weekend.
Yeah.
I saw him doing his calendar in his head. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, damn it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right. We're gonna get another one set up.
Yeah, well, I'll set everything else up, and then you get to talk to everybody. It's gonna be a long podcast day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already have an event on there.
Nice.
My event. I just didn't even name it. Here we go. Podcast with Tosh.
Yep, it's
I like
called
it.
Wolf Fest 2016.
Wolf Fest.
Yeah, we'll have.
Where is it?
We may move it downtown, but right now it's at Orangeville Park in Orangeville.
Okay.
Kanan Smith, Drake White, and Trent Harmon from who was the last American Idol,
Oh, okay.
with special guest Uncle Cracker.
Oh,
man.
Cracker. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's Uncle Cracker from?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Nabisco?
He was Kid Rock's DJ for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to guess? I'm going to look it up.
Okay, go ahead and look it up.
What do you-
Google
what-
it.
Well, I'm gonna Bing it because I have Microsoft stock. What are you guys' guess? Where's Uncle Cracker from?
Jersey.
Well, he was
Atlanta.
Kid Rock's DJ,
I think
so
Atlanta.
one would lean somewhere geographically near Detroit. Tosh goes with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's born in Michigan.
I'm going to go with Murder
No,
Beach.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. You're right.
All right.
Home of DeBarge.
Yeah.
all of them.
And Uncle Cracker.
Yeah, Uncle Cracker, Chico, Bunny, L, all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man,
So
that'll
we'll
be cool.
We'll knock that out.
Yeah.
Nice.
October 2nd will be cool.
That's fun.
And then we have Jason Aldean coming up Thursday.
Right, the 18th.
Yeah.
Is there a hip hop act that can do stadium shows consistently? I mean, I know maybe when they go to LA and they got a big crowd, but can they do a
Drake.
stadium tour? He can do a
Drake,
stadium tour.
Yeah. Drake, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
You mean he can pull them or can
Drake.
perform them?
Drake.
Just so we clarify.
Drake, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, those guys can sell enough tickets to
Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay-Z for sure.
Yeah, Jay-Z. I mean, yeah, we have them.
But Jay-Z toured with Justin Timberlake. Did they do that to support their stadium tour? So that the two of them together can pull it?
With Jay-Z,
No, either one of them.
Yeah, either one. Like
Either one.
Beyonce, when they did the On the Run tour, was amazing.
Yeah.
Beyonce was amazing.
It's incredible that as and I don't mean this to be in a bad way, as small as her act is. Like, yes, there's a lot of dancers, but it's just different than having a band that takes up a lot of space.
No, she has a band.
So she have a band out there?
Yeah, so there's always a
She's
band.
got the full.
So what happens is it's almost like a play.
Yeah.
The band is off either stage
okay.
left or stage right, but yeah, it's all live.
Every time I've seen her, I've
It
seen her
has
with
to
a
be
troupe of
dynamic.
dancers.
It's so big, it has to be
yeah,
dynamic.
that's what I'm asking. Yeah, so
Man,
she's
if you
flows
get
it
a
out.
chance to watch Beyonce's rehearsal,
Yeah.
look it up
right.
on YouTube. She's
Yeah.
got two of the most kick-ass female drummers in her group.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a beast.
I'm sure
Yeah.
she can get top talent for sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a
I mean,
beast.
she's going to write a big check. She's going to get
Yeah.
whoever she wants.
Shout out to Tony Rusher Jr. who drums for Jay-Z. He's a
Right.
beast.
He is.
That dude's
Met
been a
him,
beast since
too.
he was 5.
Yeah, he's been a
When
prodigy.
he was 5, he was ridiculous.
Yes.
And he lived up to his potential.
Yes, he sure did. He's even more dangerous
He is.
as
He's-
an adult. Oh God.
Right. Because you know what? He had amazing chops when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's kept up the chops. He's only gotten faster and smoother.
Yeah.
And his playing's matured.
Yes.
Because the guidance that he got, he was an amazing little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started hanging out with the likes of Dennis Chambers.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind, Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis Chambers.
And
Yeah.
they just really sort of
yes.
allowed him to, know when to hang back.
Yep.
And, understand where your bread is buttered
Yeah.
on
that's
these
smart.
songs.
Yeah.
And really just matured his playing so much. He's such a joy to listen to. And his chops are just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I wish.
Yeah. Yeah. There are a few guys who are kicking chops like that, and they're around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We discussed on a prior show that we kind of just snuck in a couple weeks ago, but didn't really push out. We just kind of snuck it in. We discussed the Rolling Stone 100 top 100 drummers.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Did you see that list?
No, I've never seen the list.
There were a lot of people on it who were tremendous. Of course,
Right.
like Ringo Starr and
Right.
all the way through Dennis Chambers.
Right.
Zig was on the list.
Yeah.
No Omar Hakim.
Honorable omission.
Um,
And he's a beast too.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine that list did not include Omar Hakim?
And had Ringo Starr.
That-
Ringo Starr can only keep time.
Blows my mind.
Ringo Starr's high on the list.
Oh, yeah,
in
he's
the
like
top-
number 4.
Yeah,
How?
top 10.
No way. He is not.
Well,
what
for
was
one
it
thing,
based
this
on?
is
His
what I'll give-
popularity.
This is what I get. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
popularity contest for sure.
Nah.
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
surprised that Zig made the list.
Yeah.
Because if you've never heard of Omar Hakim, how have you heard of Zigaboo Modaliste?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. There were some
Who's
omissions
Daryl's cousin?
on that list. That's true. Some way, shape, or form, he's Daryl's cousin. I'm in good company. If we look at that list is based on popularity. You see a guy like Mick Fleetwood on there.
Yeah.
You see a guy like
But taking nothing from their talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they weren't, Mick Fleetwood and all. Those are great, iconic bands, great time. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, but if we're just talking about just straight chops.
just raw chops.
Yeah, I'm like,
All right, so if you're going to have chops, you
Yeah.
also have to, like, in Pete's world, you have to have done it more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. Like,
Yes.
You can't just show up, be 18, be fast, and have tons of fast switch muscle,
Yeah.
and have not evolved. If you've
Correct.
got chops at the major league level in baseball, if you can't adjust, you're out.
Yeah, about the size of it. Yeah.
So you and those guys have chops.
You could be
so-
a 19-year-old bat swinger who could hit the ball 1,000 yards.
yeah.
But the major league pitching will get
Yeah,
around
it'll
you.
square you around. So you've got to have the ability to adapt and do different things.
So if you're that guy who could pop a hit in the center field, more often than he
Yeah.
hits home runs, but also a third of the time,
Yeah.
just knocking something into the outfield into a hole.
right,
That longevity counts for something.
Shout out Ichiro.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah.
at 42.
So now,
Right.
how about Ringo Starr? Let's go back to Ringo Starr.
Yeah, I mean, he
You know.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, remember we grew up. Was it Neil Peart?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you
man.
know,
We
it's-
say Peart over here. We got educated by a real
Peart?
drummer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad.
You put a
I think some of his skill has diminished a little bit. He's not as dynamic because he was a drum god to us,
Uh-huh.
hands down.
still is.
Yeah, well, he
I mean,
also-
still is,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But because he did drum corps, so we were really stoked about that.
But I'll give you an example though of why this list is bullshit, is because at one point in his career, he decided, you know what, I'm just not feeling like I need to deconstruct and reconstruct. I feel like I've hit a ceiling and I'm not going to get better until I take it way, way, way back. So you know what he did? He took lessons from Peter Erskine.
Oh wow!
And Peter Erskine set him up with a ride cymbal and said, let's learn how to play this. And he worked with Peter Erskine to play the ride cymbal.
That's crazy.
And they started there and spent considerable time with the sensitivities of playing on the ride cymbal. And then they worked their way out, and he felt like, you know what, man, I just like doing yoga, a different kind of yoga for a couple years where you
Right.
just get a whole different set of knots in your muscles and you work stuff out. And that's what he did. But he's higher up on the list than Peter Erskine.
Wow.
What's that about?
Where was Buddy Rich?
He was
He's like number 5
yeah,
or something.
he's up where he's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
With his level, because he's also got the influence thing going for him.
Yeah.
You can be the one trick pony, but you better be fucking bad at that one trick. Like you better play the fuck out of the gong. Like everybody's like, I can't touch the gong anymore.
What was Elvin? What was the black guy? Elvin who brought us the triplet roll.
Elvin Bishop?
Yep. Where was he? Was he on that list?
No, that was Elvin Jones. Elvin Bishop was the dude who sang "Fooled Around, Fell in
No,
Love."
no.
He lives in
Elvin
Marin.
Jones. Yeah.
who. Because Elvin Jones was the first one to bring us to triplet roll, which was big in the '80s for
Right.
rock drummers.
Yes.
Buddy Rich was 15 on this list.
That's suspicious.
Yeah.
You know, I just wonder if, not that he was known as a drummer early in his days, he was, because he drummed for Ramsey Lewis, was Maurice White,
Oh, that's right. He was
Yeah.
a monster
Monster.
too.
Yeah, he's,
drummer.
he's not on the list.
who introduced the kalimba.
That's right.
Just to give you an idea what the top 5 looks like, obviously John Bonham gets all the love for one. Keith Moon, and I'm going to see right now, Keith Moon, too short. Like when you're going against these guys, and I don't know, Ginger Baker's great and everything, but again, like he couldn't get a job in the 70s, so we got 5 years of work, and then he can't get work. So you can be the greatest drummer in the world,
Right.
but if you're such a fucking asshole,
But
Yeah.
you only last
Yeah,
5
well-
years.
you know,
Right.
you can't be 5 or 3 on the list.
And he's still alive and still
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, the whole point of his documentary is that he's gonna punch you in the face no matter what you do.
Yep.
You know,
At some
so
point.
Wow.
yeah, that comes into play because Ringo Starr's not gonna. He's gonna charge you a fuckload of money to show up, but he can play. And he's a pro. You know,
And he's
Ginger
not gonna
Baker's
punch
a
his
pro.
mother.
Right? Yeah. Peart is 4, and then Hal Blaine is 5.
What about John Robinson? He played on those iconic albums.
Yeah, he's on there.
Yeah, he's
Okay. He played on.
He's in there somewhere good. We're Facebook friends.
Oh, really?
Gene Krupa made
I
the,
see pictures of his grandkids and shit.
Oh, well, so
Yeah.
Gene Krupa made the top 10.
Wow.
Al Jackson,
I
Stuart
wonder if,
Copeland.
hey, grandkids, you know who Michael Jackson was?
Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jonathan Moffat, the Foot.
Dude, I don't know if Jonathan Moffat was on the list.
Probably not.
I hope so.
Let's see if I can search.
As solid as he is, between the Jacksons, Michael Jackson, Cameo, and
Oh, who else? Lead singer Cameo was a drummer too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Larry Blackmon
He
sure
was a
was.
drummer.
Yeah.
So was
Juilliard's-
Morris Day.
Morris Day was a badass drummer.
Yeah.
Of course,
Who'd he
you
play
know,
for?
was it Grand Central? With
Yeah.
Prince?
Grand
Prince's
Central.
band? Andre Simone? Honorable mention.
Was that what it was called? Something like that.
Right.
Okay, so 73 on the list is Pete Thomas, and he played with Elvis Costello on the Attractions. I can't tell you one memorable drum thing from. I'm not a drummer like you guys, but I can't tell you why that guy would be on the list.
I don't know Pete Thomas either.
No, I don't know. I'm just talking mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what these lists are for, right? To talk mess about.
Yeah, exactly.
Tommy Ramone. There's your Bigfoot Braley. He's in the 60s.
Who's Bigfoot Braley?
Didn't you just say his name?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we said
Ooh.
the foot.
Oh, not
Jonathan
Superfoot either. A lot
Moffat.
of guys named
Oh, you mean Sugarfoot?
Sugarfoot.
Well,
Sugarfoot. Greg
the
Rico.
foot is Jonathan Moffat.
Jonathan Moffat went by Sugarfoot for a long time, too.
He went by
He
they
wasn't
call
the
him Foot.
Sugarfoot. He was
Yeah.
the second
Foot.
Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
But-
not from Ohio players.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between, say, Chad Smith and somebody who's in the top 10? Educate me. What's I mean,
I
he's-
think top 10 should be a drummer's drummer.
okay.
Also,
Yeah, I
a
mean,
drummer
at
who
the-
changed the instrument.
Yeah, because
That's
I'm
what I'll say for Ringo
Yeah.
Starr. Is that when he?
Ooh, he's making a sound like a
he
leaky
made
balloon.
He made a
No,
sound.
I mean no, because Ringo Starr, man, he was one of the lucky ones. He got famous because he was with an iconic band.
Sure.
You
But
know,
he got a job in Iconic Man because he had it.
He played eighth notes and quarter notes. Cut.
He did do that in the early stuff, but then he played. And
Yeah.
that was tight.
Yeah, back in it was back in his time.
You know.
So did he evolve? Did he meet the mark? I mean,
Yeah,
is anything
but
he did
he
after
wasn't-
71 important?
Well, the thing about Ringo Starr, though, to Tosh's point, is
Yeah.
that now he goes on the road, and of course he's Ringo Starr. People want to hear the songs, but he'll go on the road and he'll bring. Now it's his son,
Right.
but he would always have a drummer.
Right.
So it's almost like he brought somebody else to do the lifting. He
Right.
kind of disqualified himself.
Hey, yeah. Well, I mean,
Does
look.
that
I mean, I
disqualify-
can't take. Look,
Yeah.
we can't take anything from his place in history with the Beatles
Absolutely
and everything
not.
else
Sure,
like
yeah.
that. And
Also, if you're a drummer in a band and you're any good, somebody at some point will refer to you as Ringo. Hey, Ringo.
yep, that's true.
You know.
That's the
So
name.
he's
That's like
coined,
calling the
he
first
coined
baseman
it. He
Sack.
coined the phrase. Yeah, I get it. But you know, again, as a drummer, as a young drummer, you know, you get caught into the flash of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And while you're in that flash, you don't worship Ringo Starr.
No. Well, just like you know, John Robinson, your Facebook friend. You know, he didn't have a lot of great licks, but he had a great timing and how he could lock.
Man, he could lie.
He could lock, and then you know,
But he didn't have a lot of great licks. How about
boom.
Right.
man? That was fucking great.
But then,
He would just lay in that pocket.
yeah, exactly. You know, and Chaka Khan was a drummer too.
Yeah.
Are you going to see She Was Incredible?
For at the time, I think
Yeah,
it
she was
was
okay.
early.
That's not a big. That's
She's
not a
like
top
Karen
one.
Carpenter. It's like
Okay.
she was a drummer. Was she incredible?
She played drums.
Yeah.
And she's sick. God rest her. I hope she's
All right,
doing well.
we can't go out this conversation without mentioning the greatest female drummer of all time, Sheila E.
Yeah.
Banging.
What's up, Sheila?
Yeah.
What's up?
All
with her?
time.
She's going to come on the
All
show.
time.
She's going to come on
She
the show.
still
She
looks
doesn't know
good.
it, but she's going to be on the show.
Oh, yeah.
She still looks good.
Oh, yeah.
She looks
for sure.
great.
Yeah, she looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Hands
So-
down.
Hal Blaine's on the list,
Bad.
top 5. We got no
Bad.
problem with that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
talking about adapting.
She was on the
any
list
song,
also.
anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she's on
She
the-
should have been on the list.
Yeah.
She's on the top 100 drummers list.
Yeah.
She's always been on my list.
Yeah.
She's on the top 100 drummers list.
And then she
In,
went all Christian on us. No, I'm still thinking as a high school kid when I see her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the poster from the Love Sexy tour
Oh, wow.
where she had the hat that covered her face a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she wore that
Yellow?
The
the half, yeah.
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 Half tard.
Right. The half
Yeah,
guard.
yeah, half
With the
guard.
E.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the E. Strategically placed.
with the E.
Man.
I'm Facebook friends with Xena, by the way, her sister.
Are you really?
Nice.
Yeah. Man, there are just so many drummers out there that have had an impact that is meaningful to us, that when we see drummers on that list that we go, I don't even know who that dude is. Who cares about that dude?
Yeah.
I'm sure that guy, Thomas, who plays drums with Elvis
Yeah,
Costello,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's great.
is a terrific
Oh yeah,
drummer,
we're
but-
not taking anyone from the list. We're
No,
just
they're on the
from
list
our-
for a reason.
It is our perception as little naughty head kids from the 707.
So
That's right.
I want to ask because John he plays along, but I want to know what you guys think about Larry Mullen because in my book he's got to be great because you don't have that many albums and that much influence and play the drums so differently without being much higher than like 96.
Larry Mullen, 96. What do you think?
I don't have an opinion either way.
Nice.
Same.
So maybe that's the problem, right? Like he just doesn't stand out in the band.
No, no, it's not that. I just don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, I wasn't.
But he's
following.
like the modern day Ringo.
Yeah.
In the point that you made,
Mm-hmm.
in that if you break down his playing, okay, he plays 16th notes on the hi hat. Sometimes he plays 8th notes on the hi hat.
Yeah. I mean,
His snare drum's always there.
My thing is, let's preface it. If you're a musician and you can get a check,
Yep.
and you can take care of your family,
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it.
You're on your family's top 100.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to musicians.
Absolutely.
But you might not be
tough.
on your family's top 100 though, because sometimes you have to say, "Yeah, we went to 186 countries."
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry,
Yeah.
kids.
That's true.
Yeah, you may not be the best drummer in your own house
Yeah.
because you don't live in your own house. Yeah. The drummer conversation is always fun. The guitarist conversation
Yeah,
is
it's
always
always.
fun. And it is subjective, and that's why Rolling Stone puts it out, right?
Who's the awesome country drummer?
Ooh, because it's a great question because
I'll put my bid in for Neoshi Jackson.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you
a
very
great.
much.
Yeah, he's a great. My brother, he's a great drummer.
He
But
is.
you know what? A lot of knowing musicians.
Let's stop for just one moment. Please hold that thought.
Yeah.
Neoshi Jackson is a great drummer, and we love him.
Yes, he is.
But let's face it, he got great because he followed us around.
That's right.
That has now been said.
That's been said. But you know what?
I
though?
remember my band played at the Omni, and we made a videotape of it. And it was just like us on stage. The camera never moved because it was mounted next to the disco ball. It just pointed at the stage, and there was just lights on the stage, and I was playing the thing. And he was like, man, I felt like that. It was great playing there. It was real cool. We met a couple chicks. I didn't yet feel like a rock star until I came over your house and played the tape, and Neoshi was like, man, that's the coolest thing I ever seen. That's when I felt like a rock star.
Yeah.
So that's what Neoshi Jackson has done for me.
My
And now he could whoop my ass.
Oh, he's a beast with his time.
He is a monster.
He is a monster. He is. And one of my greatest things was able to see him play with Laura Bell Bundy in Vegas at the ACM Awards.
Nice.
Oh, no, excuse me, CMA Awards.
CMA Awards.
And I said, that's my brother.
Man, he's played with Marcus Miller.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
played with Marcus.
All right.
He
Enough
played
said.
for-
Never
Trish.
mind that he played with Trisha Yearwood. He
Trisha
played with
Yearwood.
Marcus Miller.
Straight up.
Had a great tour.
Yeah.
But it's just neat to see him on that level.
Yeah.
And I know more people, like he knows everybody in Nashville and everyone knows him,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
I want to bring this back to the radio stuff a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
Because it's fascinating what you do. You know?
Okay.
I mean, you are, in effect, a tastemaker for country music.
Yes, I am.
You're not supposed to be, but there you are doing it.
Your chicken eating brother.
Yeah, exactly. But you
what's
figured
up, my
out
girl?
because you know the industry. You know
Yes,
how
sir.
the industry works. You don't care about the genre. I'm imagining. You
Yes.
can go run any station.
Yes.
When you're sitting there and you realize, holy shit, I can do this. I could, like before you even know you're going to run a country station. When did you what was that moment like? When you're like, this is what I'm made to do. Like I would
You
never
know
pick
what?
this path, but here I am.
I think now going on year 7 for me, it just hit not too long ago. I'm like, I'm still here. Because to be honest with you, the odds weren't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
good
it's
for
funny
anybody.
because my reps now go, hey, bro, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think we were gonna make it a year.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Didn't think so. I'm like, it's going hell in the handbasket.
Yeah.
They have a hip hop dude running a country station, but I'm here year 7,
And not just one station, but two.
2. Oh, and I did win. I was a top 30 country programmer in the United States.
So not just are you
So,
a tastemaker
yeah.
for a country station,
Yeah,
you're
top
one of
20.
the best in the nation.
One of the best in the nation. Yes.
Good for you.
You know,
Not to toot my own horn.
No, but it's,
No, we don't do
it.
any of that.
Validates what you're doing, that you really are doing it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, and you deserve that credit. Even if you've got to say it, I'm gonna say it back to you. You're one of the best in the world,
Thank you so very much.
in the world
check.
at running a country station.
Yeah.
That is
Very blessed.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what,
Very
anybody who
blessed.
can get a check doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. And to say that I have the relationships that I have, that's I think that's the crazy. Even if to say it's bullshit, it does say it's just pure malarkey.
Yeah.
You would never know.
You know, just the other night, John, we were talking, and Pete, great intro to what I'm about to bring up. But we were talking about, all right, Tosh, so we've identified the fact that not only are you running two different stations with from one extreme to another, from hip hop to country, but the fact that you're African American.
Yep.
And the question was, are you being recognized for that at all? Because that's a rarity in itself.
Does that matter to you?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I mean,
he did mention that the other night. That it doesn't, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things that it would be kind of nice. That would probably, I don't know, add to the.
I don't know if it would add to it, but just to say that that I'm holding my own with my own peers.
It's a
And-
matter
and
of
there's
pride.
not- yeah, well,
Right.
it is just it's not having. I had to earn everything
Yeah.
that I got.
Yeah.
So this is hey, you're the odd man out that's still here. It's great, you know. But it's just a testament of staying power and God's good graces and being blessed. I'm very, 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 very blessed, and I'm very fortunate, and I know where my help comes from. And I'm not that smart, but it is a testament of hard work and faith and just perseverance.
Well, with that, man, I mean, I have to say, man,
I don't have any of those. I hate working hard.
honestly, Tosh, from I know, speaking from where we all came from,
Yeah.
man, congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man, good work.
Congratulations.
Good work.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
I mean, Intervision is a great company based out of Los Angeles. They're a Spanish media company, and I love them. And I'm going to see how far I can take this thing. We're going to keep rolling.
Yeah.
Until the wheels fall off.
I know your dedication to the listenership because
Yes.
I've known that dedication to the audience from you since you were a kid.
Wow.
And I know that what you do is, it's great and you do get enrichment from it, but I know that your biggest, most enriching feeling is when everybody else has a better experience because you were in the room.
That's what I live for. I have good friends because I got to say what's up to Jim. Listen to this. Moronsky. One day earlier in my career, I saw, I was missing, I'm always working. I didn't get to chance to see my daughter. And I see this guy hanging out at Blake Shelton, and it was just him and his daughter. And I'm like, for some reason, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I wish my daughter would come and hang out with me and do this. And, man, we were just talking, and at a point in my life, he was just, this guy doesn't know me from Adam, just was just the nicest man, just was talking to me. And, at the time, I think the world was coming in on me because, God, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, I'm the only one.
Yep. That's the truth.
And for Jim to just reach out, and we were just talking, and then to say that we're friends 7 years now going in, and both his daughters at one point worked for me.
Nice.
Wow.
And he's opened his house and his friends and family to us, and he's part of our family.
That's
Right on,
fantastic.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just it was through country music.
Yeah. Well, country music has done a lot for you, and it seems like your aim is to do a lot for country music. And we know in Sacramento you have, and you
Yes,
are,
sir.
and you continue to. And you continue to do a lot for pop music as well, and just ear holes in Sacramento, in the greater Sacramento area.
Yes, sir.
Ear holes. On behalf of Ear Holes, thank you, Tosh Jackson.
You're so very welcome, and thank you for having me.
And thanks for coming on the show. And we'll see you some point real soon, but definitely October 2nd.
It's already in the book.